Okay, so this is day in the life of a professor, or I guess you more accurately, you could probably say like graduate student teacher. I was very on the fence about doing this. I thought it sounded really cool to do that yesterday. But then when I woke up this morning, I was like, who am I? Emma Chamberlain? Why? I don't have a place at the Queen's table. Why would I be filming myself throughout the day? So I don't know how much we're going to do this, but we're going to try it anyway. It is currently, I think, like 6:36 in the morning. I've been up for like 36 minutes now. I haven't even made my bed. I don't know if anyone can see it. I haven't even made my bed because I am in a terrible rush to get out the door today. Like, I really need to. Today's the last day of the semester, and it's like a bittersweet day. The last day of the semester always is. And I am getting Krispy Kreme donuts for everyone. But where I'm going, it's like really far away. So we're going to see. I was thinking about maybe like, why am I looking in the pajama drawer? There are no pajamas. I was thinking about maybe like waking up at 5:30 last night, and then when I set the alarm at 5:30, I was like, that's not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. So, no, I think I may not have my Santa outfit. I think my Santa outfit's just not. No, wait, I know where it is. It's the last day of the fall semester, which always means that I get to wear my Santa outfit. Okay. I still don't think this is probably the best idea. But maybe we'll check in when I get my Santa costume on. Okay, so I'm actually like really proud of myself right now because my goal was to get out the door today at 6:45 a.m. and it's currently 6:50 a.m. I already had to go back inside because I forgot to bring plates for donuts. I am currently waiting for the windows to thaw out of whatever mist or so is on them because I gotta hit the highway and it is not going to be safe if I'm driving and I can't see out the window, so I might be waiting a few minutes here. But I really want to get out the door at 6:45 a.m. or at least be in this car by 6:45 because that means that I have more time to go to the donut shop, and in case it takes a while, even though I don't think anyone else is going to be there besides me, I still can get to our classes on time today. Anywho, I am wearing my Santa costume. I also have the other parts in my bag, but I don't want to don the hat and the beard and the hair just yet because it's scratchy, and if it gets in my eyes, I could be a liability on the road, and we don't want to hurt anybody so close to the holiday season. What have I done today? Normally, I wake up and I like to make the bed pretty much first thing. I like seeing a made bed there, and sometimes on teaching days I come back and I end up falling asleep. I try to do work and then I'm like and then a bed that's made looks more inviting than a bed that's not made. So that's kind of my thought process there. So there's the bed, and then what do we do after that? I always eat breakfast. Breakfast is it's so important, and I wish to the 0 people who are listening to this that, and if you are taking classes, especially if you're in college or something like that, just please eat your breakfast. You make our job as teachers so much easier when you eat your breakfast, because then you're not staring up at us like half dead and not really able to pay attention because you're in so much pain. But most students, and I ask this like every semester, it seems like a few students will eat breakfast, and those are the ones who come with the most energy. And then everyone else, even if they do have energy, they don't eat breakfast. They just kind of like, there's like, hey, I want 10 more minutes of sleep. Well, it's like, what's that 10 minutes really doing for you though? Maybe it's the difference between something good and something not, but it doesn't make up for the breakfast. The breakfast is where you get much more than 10 minutes more of sleep. You get hours worth of energy, assuming that you're not eating something weird. And sometimes students will take something weird for breakfast too, like just a single cup of coffee. Like, we're not dragon warriors here. Like, you can't survive off the dew of a single ginkgo leaf and the energy of the universe. So please don't just. You gotta eat breakfast is what I'm trying to say. So I ate my breakfast. It was a waffle. I hope I get a donut today. I don't usually get donuts on Krispy Kreme donut days. But maybe today will be the day. I don't know if I can get this thing to work here. Okay, Okay, so it cut out because I was trying to pull up the directions to get to the Krispy Kreme from here. That's just my car. She thinks I'm gonna hit a trash can, but it's like, I know better than you. The robots aren't going to. Oh, maybe I am gonna hit the trash can. Okay. No. Please. Yes. Yeah, okay. I'm a genius. Okay. I need to pull up the directions to the Krispy Kreme. And I did that. I'm back. And I made a terrible miscalculation. I thought, and I saw the drive last night, I was like, oh yeah, 20 minutes? That's gonna be great. That's perfect. It is now 30 minutes. I did not account for traffic. When I was an undergrad, I made my Siri thing British because I thought it would be funny. And now it's just been British for like 7 years. And it's probably never going to change. It sounds weird to go back to the other ones I've tried. I wonder what other type of voices they have now. I haven't tried to change it in years. Well, anyway, we had breakfast. Normally we like making the bed. What else do we do? I brush my... I go and I floss. That's really important. And you always floss the teeth you want to keep. So I floss after everything I eat. I don't want anything left of what I ate in there. And then I brush my teeth for about 12 minutes. Wow, it's really hot in this car. I gotta turn off the defroster. I brush my teeth for about 12 minutes each go around there. So I do that. And then if I'm wearing like actual like dress clothes, which I usually am, it takes me a little bit longer to get out the door. Especially if I am putting on a tie. A tie I can usually get on the first go around. I have like a little method for making sure that I get that on the first time around, and then there's no worries about it looking a little goofy because of how high or low it's like pulled. But I haven't been wearing ties for the past couple of weeks. I've just been kind of like wearing like sweatshirts and other things that are still appropriate for the workplace, but I can keep a guy warm. So it didn't take too long to get dressed. I shave every time I leave the house to go do something, especially professionally. I always shave. I personally prefer a clean shaven look on me, so I try to do that every time I go out there. I don't want to go out with anything less than a clean shaven look. But that always takes a little bit. That takes about 5 minutes, I would say. Then we got the dress, and then there's also bedhead. The first time I checked in, I had some pretty bad bedhead. I didn't shower until very late last night. I was, for the past couple of weeks, I have been buddy reading a book with one of my besties, and I'm not gonna say what book it is because I didn't enjoy it, and I don't want to cause any flaming. Not a big fan of it. It was a romantasy. It was my first romantasy, and I don't think that's a genre for me. I wanted to give it an honest shot, and I don't know, maybe there's another romantasy book that out there that really kind of appeals to me, but I thought the writing was kind of goofy, and what is essentially the deuteragonist name, who I think was written pretty poorly as an antagonist for a while there, because it was like an enemies to lovers and the typical sort of thing. It was so goofy. It took a guy out of the story every time I tried to read it, so I was like, But I was kind of done with reading it. Like, my friend she'd finished it like, oh my gosh, almost 2 weeks ago now. Just about the time we got the book, she just sped through it there. Not me. I've been on it for ages, but I was like, I don't want to be doing this anymore. I just want it over with. So I buckled down last night. I had about 120 I had 120 pages left exactly. And then I just spent, I think, the time from like 9:30 to 11:30 just reading the rest of the book there. And then I emerged out of that foxhole a winner. But that's why I didn't end up showering until late, because I was really trying to finish that. I don't want to deal with it anymore. And why did I bring oh, right, because that's how I had bedhead. You know, when you shower late, your hair is wet, you go to bed with wet hair, and now you have bedhead. Plus, I really need a haircut, like kind of something fierce. I scheduled a haircut. It's weird that you schedule haircuts. I scheduled a haircut weeks ago, and boy, do I need it. It comes in 2 days now, and that'll be nice. That'll be nice to kind of get it, because it's not getting so long that it starts like, because normally when my hair gets longer, it starts flapping like a matador cape in the wind. Thankfully, it's not matador levels of long, but you know, it's starting to get to the point when I like it when I get out of the shower. I like it when the back of my head is like dry immediately, like that kind of hair. Like there isn't just that much there, and now it's taken a few minutes to dry. It's like, well, that's not necessary. But let's not do that. Anywho, I am sure I'm going to be late today, unfortunately. So I will definitely be sending a message out to my classes when I get to the Krispy Kreme here that, you know, traffic is really bad, which it is. This drive normally to get from my home to this college here, it should be about 35 to 38 minutes, probably more like 30. Oh man, probably more like 38 minutes. And thank you, kind people, for letting me get over. Today, I think it's going to take upwards of 50 to 55 minutes. Well, I appreciate you for not letting me go, everyone. That's most kind of you. And to the Krispy Kreme, it should be 19 minutes. And today, it's going to take about 30. I guess that person did not see my turn signal here. Okay, well, you know, one day we'll be able to get over. This is always a really stressful part, driving on these highways in particular. The drivers in this state are, I don't know, maybe they got the license from cereal boxes. I'm not quite sure. I'm rambling a lot right now. I love talking with people especially, but with the way that I can talk to myself a lot of the time, it also kind of makes me question whether or not I just like hearing my own voice. And I don't think I do, especially because I think my own voice sounds a little bit nasally, but yeah. Anywho, last thing I think I'll say before I hop off and just enjoy some Christmas carols, because that's our theme, is the end of the semester is always a bittersweet feeling. It's sweet because for students, of course, you no longer have any classes for the rest of the semester. That could be like a month at most colleges or universities, at least the ones that I'm very familiar with, or it could be like 3 to 4 months if you're not taking any summer classes. It's sweet because you don't have to do as much work now. Now, some or many students have jobs to help support their education, to have some pocket money, and you know they'll probably be like doing that kind of work as well. So it's not a completely like work-free sort of break, but the end of the semester does signal a break, and it's sweet for teachers because there's a lot of responsibility attached to being a professor. Just to give you an idea of what it's like for professors here, professors, just one of their responsibilities is teaching. It's not their only responsibility. And for many professors, I don't think they would consider teaching to be their primary responsibility. Which sounds a little weird, right? But it is the truth. Your priorities will lie elsewhere. Professors are people just like students. Some students will take school very seriously. That's their main focus, their main priority. And then other students are just doing it just to get a degree, or they don't even want to be there. They want to be doing other things. And professors are the same way. They don't always want to be in the... Well, I'm getting a call. I will answer that very soon. They don't always want to be in the classroom. So it's always a good idea maybe to look at the reviews for teachers and see like which professors seem like they really care about their job, because those are the ones whose classes you want to take. So it's sweet for professors too, because it's like, oh, I don't have to do any grading. That I think most professors will agree that grading is probably the worst part of the job. They don't like doing it, which is and with coupled with all their other responsibilities, that's why oftentimes you won't get feedback on assignments until it's too late, or you won't get much of, if any, helpful feedback. And I feel like, is that Bing Crosby going? Yes, it is. Okay, he started playing on me. So it's sweet for professors, because now they get to focus on some other things for a little bit, and they don't need to worry about it. Because there's also an emotional taxation to being a teacher too, where a lot of times being a professor is also being a therapist, because you hear a lot of crazy stuff, and you want to help people. You want to help the students who come and they're sharing with you some of the things that have been going on with them. And obviously you don't really want to tell that to too many other people, if any at all, because that's someone else's personal life. So, and it's also emotionally taxing, because you might pour your blood, sweat, and time into, may say, creating a lesson, and then nobody's really, and if it doesn't go that well, that really hurts. And if it doesn't go well because no one's paying attention, no one cares, that really hurts. That's never really a good time. Especially when, like, for instance, you assign readings for a class, and then you just know, whether implicitly or because your students are just, they're honest with you that they didn't read it. Then that's like, guys, do you know how hard you're making my job right now? Like, you're really making me work for my bread today. So that's why it's sweet. And then, it's bitter, because the best part about teaching is you. It's the students. And you guys make it worth it to do this every day. And I mean that, and I try to say that as often as possible whenever that sort of subject comes up, because, your teachers are people too. And I would say this has definitely been a pretty difficult personal semester for me. And one of the things that has kept me going here, is being able to wake up and know that today's a day I get to be in the classroom with a bunch of people I love, and try to lead us into learning something a little bit more about whatever it is that we're talking about in class that day. So you meet all these amazing people. This semester I met a lot more people than I usually do in classes. And then after 4 months, in some cases less than that if you have an accelerated course, that's it. Like, you're not going to see most of your students again. And that sucks. That really hurts. I do my best, to encourage students to stay in contact. Like, let me know how you're doing. We can catch up over lunch. If you want a letter of recommendation, all you have to do is ask. And I would say at the university where I'm at right now, I have about a 30 to 40% success rate on keeping in contact with students, which is better than the first place I was teaching at, which was 0, because I was just learning how to do it, and I had a thought to do the stuff that I'm doing now to try to maintain contact or encourage communication, I should say. But that's really better. I always end up getting really emotional about 1 month before the actual end of the semester, and invariably there's always one night where I'm crying myself to sleep, because I'm gonna miss everyone. And I know that I'm not going to hear from most students when the semester's over. So you just got to hold on to the hope that you'll hear from some, and I do, and I really live for that. And I'm hoping this semester that if I could get 25 students to stay in contact, that would be amazing. It's probably going to be more like 5 to 10, but anything, I mean, really anything and anyone at all, that's just the most amazing thing. So that's where we are, and I would love to return this call here, and I will check back in when we have some more donuts. Well, we have donuts, period. Okay, we have gone on a successful donut hunt. There are now 3 dozen donuts in the bag. I only got 32 donut orders from these 2 classes because that's as many students as I've seen over the past few weeks. I think between these 2 classes, I have, oh, thank you very much. I want to say 44 students, 43? I think 44, it's 44. And I have only seen 32 of those 44 students over the past couple of weeks here. So that's as many donut orders as I got. I always try to ask for everyone's favorite donuts, so I'm not just bringing in random ones. And it's a bit... Ooh. So I'm not just getting like random ones. Okay, wait, I'll be right back. Okay, the donut mission was successful. We now have 3 dozen donuts in the back of the car. And I just stopped off at Dunkin' because one of the students, one of the spiritual anchors of our class, does not actually like donuts all that much. And she wanted a cinnamon bagel instead. You know what? I'm going to go this way through the parking lot. She wanted a cinnamon bagel instead. So I was like, well, we got to make sure that you have what you want today. So stopped off at Dunkin'. And now it's going to be about a 38-minute drive to get to the classes here. Actually, it's going to be more like a 40-minute drive.
Turn right onto North Florida Avenue, then turn left.
See, Siri loves talking right now. The smell is making me really hungry. All I had was a little... It was like a Belgian waffle or something for breakfast, but not one that was homemade in like a waffle iron. More like a... Okay, I'm going to assume I am going the right way here, because I actually don't know. I've never been on this side of town before. It was not like a waffle iron waffle. It was like a pre-made waffle stuffed with preservatives in a package that tastes really good. Nice and sweet, the way I like it. Let me see.
At the lights, turn left onto East Bird Street, then turn right to merge onto I-275.
Onto I-2, okay. So that waffle did not hold. It did not take in terms of keeping somebody full. So I'm already hungry. I'm smelling the donuts. They smell great. The cinnamon bagel smells great too. It does have raisins in it, so I hope my student, I hope that she will be okay with that, and that the raisins won't destroy her. Because I know that if I got a cinnamon raisin bagel expecting a cinnamon bagel, my life would be crushed. I think my feelings would be so terribly hurt. But for whatever reason, it seems like raisin bagels, like cinnamon raisin bagels, are more popular than just plain cinnamon bagels, which is really weird, because it's like, no, like raisins cause us all trust issues, right? Like I don't want raisins in my bagel.
At the lights, use the right lane to merge onto I-275.
The right lane is very indistinguishable from the other lanes here, because the markings have disappeared, and there are potholes like everywhere. But here we are now. Okay, there we go. So yeah, cinnamon raisin bagels would have caused me trust issues in the past. Don't take that seriously. I haven't actually had trust issues, but I did go to Walmart the other day, like 2 days ago or something, so I could get some groceries, obviously, so we could fill up the house and have stuff to eat, which is always nice.
3 miles. Take exit 45B to merge
And
onto I-4 towards
they didn't even have plain cinnamon bagels. They just had cinnamon raisins. It's like, is it really just, do only old people eat bagels? Why why do we not have cinnamon raisin, just plain cinnamon bagels? But even then, that's not fair to old people. I know probably young people like cinnamon raisin bagels too. The point is that I hope that she will be happy with this. I also didn't know what to say to a toasted or untoasted. I knew to say no cream cheese because nobody likes cream cheese. That's not a real thing. But in terms of toasted, untoasted, I said lightly toasted, and I might have made a mistake there. I probably should have gotten it just cold. So I hope it's going to be all right. Either way, I'm really looking forward to today. I'm really sad because I know that this is going to be the end in terms of being able to have student like relationships with students, like just being able to see everyone and be able to hear everyone's stories in class. But I think the last day is always a great day. We might have on like a winter special to enjoy, and I also brought in some like games as entertainment to enjoy ourselves, because the last day class, I really feel like in the field in which I teach, it should not be work related. We should just be able to enjoy ourselves, just kind of this our last bit of time together there. So we're not doing any work today. There's no work left to do anyway. We already covered all that we need to for the last major project of our class, and of course we're always available to talk and have and to meet when you have questions about like the work that we're doing. But since there's nothing new that we need to do, I don't like canceling class. I always want to be able to, have some contact time so we can always be able to answer questions when they come up. So we're here for our end of semester party, and I think we're gonna have a good time. And I hope I hope some people might have brought some controllers and stuff as well.
2 miles, take exit
Because I only have 2 controllers for the game thing that I brought. Maybe I should get some more, but video game controllers are so expensive. Anyway, I'm rambling. This is getting way too long now. I'm gonna head out, and the next time I check in, it'll probably be as I am heading into the first class of the day. Okay, so update. We're getting about like 15 minutes out from the campus here, and I think you can probably tell by my voice, I'm getting like really, really excited. I can't wait, man. Again, I've probably said this about 17 times already, but this is like a bittersweet day, but I am so ready for this. And I also think one really great thing about, I always like request the early morning classes. The first time that I ever taught at the college I'm currently at right now, I got afternoon classes. I did not ask for those as the ones that were given. And those are definitely the most popular ones, because most teachers they don't like students, they don't want to wake up early in the morning, I think, or at least among like, say, graduate student teachers. I always like the early morning classes, because that means that once we are done with the classes, we are done with that for the rest of the day. Now we have the time to do all of our other work. So I always get the early morning classes because not as many people want those. One of the many things I love about early morning classes is that you get to wake up a little bit earlier. I'm actually a night owl. I would not call myself a morning person, but waking up earlier means that, and a longer drive too, means that I get more time to kind of like wake up and really kind of be a part of the day, especially on the longer drives, which is why I love a longer drive in the mornings. And so the typical drive to the college I'm currently teaching at is about 45 minutes. So that's 45 minutes that I get to be in the car and just kind of see where I am for the day and listen to like YouTube videos is usually what I've been doing lately. So I've had a Pokemon playthrough going in the background, and then Christmas carols, I also had those going a little bit earlier. But now I think I'm fully woken up for the day and I'm getting really excited. And that's why you can kind of hear the energy. So I was just checking in about that because I'm about 15 minutes out from the class, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see everyone again. And thankfully, in the 2 classes I get to teach today, I know that there are some students who are coming back as repeat offenders for the sequel class to this one, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see them again. I cannot wait to see everyone again today. It's gonna be such a great day. I'm so excited. I'm also thinking about what's going to go on for the day after this, too. Now that I'm fully woken up, I'm thinking about what I have to look forward to. I was thinking about maybe going to the bookstore, but I think my bestie who I was going to go with, she's actually moving. So I don't think she's going to be able to, I don't think she's going to be able to come to the bookstore with me. So it might just be me going to the bookstore alone, which is also a fun experience because I don't have to feel as bad about taking up so much time in the bookstore when it's just me there. Because a good bookstore trip is like 45 minutes of me just kind of giving myself like Lego neck trying to look at all the good book titles there. So I'm not really sure what's going to be going on. I know I would also like to get some work done today. There's a project I want to do some revisions on. That's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be exciting, but I would love to get it done because I was looking at things last night. There are 3 projects I thought I needed to work on this week that I wanted to all get done by today. And I was starting them yesterday. And it turned out I think there's only one that I really needed to actually work on and get submitted by the deadline. So I did all the smaller, lower order things yesterday, and there are going to be some bigger things to address today, some inconsistencies in logic, and so that's probably going to be my main goal, is trying to get that done. I don't think it'll take more than probably an hour. An hour is still an hour, you know. There's also probably there are late assignments to grade that are coming in, so I'll be working on those ones as well. I don't think those ones will take too long here. Those are, when things come in really late, I don't provide feedback on them because it's just, the feedback, as we make clear in class, really comes in when things are submitted on time. So if you want on-time feedback, then it needs to be an on-time submission. So there's grading, there's that project, there's readings to be done as well for to get the degree that I'm hoping to get in about a year, maybe 2 at max. So there's that. And then there's also exercise to be done as well. The exercise is really important, and I've been doing pretty much just walking lately because of some injuries right now. I can't do harder workouts and cardio. So the walking, thankfully right now we have the Christmas season, the holiday season. So we get to have a bunch of Christmas lights, and it's my favorite time of the year. It's the one time of year when everyone's not even just like nice to each other, but like kind to one another too. And that's just amazing. So when I'm out walking in the neighborhoods and stuff around me, I get to see all the Christmas lights, and I absolutely love that. And I hope tonight I actually remember to wear my glasses when I go out and walk, because the past few nights I've been doing that. No glasses, everything's blurry, so I can't really see too much. Oh, we are almost there. I cannot wait. Okay, I will check in one more time before we go into the classes. Bye. Okay, so this is the last update before I head in. I am currently in the parking lot right now. I have donned my hat and beard and hair, and I am so ready to go, man. The beard is always the toughest part about the Santa costume, let me tell you. Okay then, so I will check in again when I have finished up here with a class for both classes. I am so ready for today. This is my favorite part, man. We get to walk in, we get to say good morning to everyone. Okay, I just got back from last 2 classes at this college, and I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I do think on the bright side that we're gonna have. I gotta open up the door. I don't know why I closed that. It's so hot. I do think there'll be gonna be quite a few students who stay in contact this semester, which is great. I know that some of them told me that they are coming back for round 2, repeat offenders next semester, which is just amazing. I always love to hear that. It means like someone vibed enough with what we were trying to do and bought into the culture of the classroom that they're willing to do that again. But it's sad because I know that I'm just not going to be able to see a lot of them again. Now, one thing that also hurt my feelings is that we were having our video games and stuff in our games, and I forgot to bring games to play. That sucks. So I was just kind of standing around trying to figure out what to do some last minute thinking there. And then also a lot of students, they showed up, they took their donuts, and then they weren't even like trying to talk or participate. They were just on their phones. Like, I don't What is going on? Like, how does anyone have that much to do on their phone at any one time? Now, I guess I don't have TikToks or Instagrams or any of that stuff, but I still don't see how you could have like an entire hour and a half where you're doing nothing but like being on your phone. That's kind of wild. Now, it's the last day of the semester, so ultimately it doesn't bother me maybe as much as it does like in the middle of the semester where like we'll be trying to go over some important material, then people are just on their phones in the middle of class. Like, why are you doing this? You don't have to do this, man. But that's okay. And I know that I can hold on to the fact that some of the spiritual anchors of the classes this semester, they will be coming back, they will be staying in touch, and that's what matters most. So at this point, I will be heading back home to get out of the Santa costume. So you can see, like, I have this crazy bed head. I look like an anime protagonist. Now, actually, that's probably giving myself too much credit. I just look like a guy who had a Santa hat on for the past 4 hours, and this is the result. I really need a haircut. Okay, well, next time I check in, I don't know, maybe after lunch or something like that, maybe I'll like eat. Well, no, I will eat, but I don't know. I'll do some work, like I was thinking about maybe that one project earlier, do some readings, and then we just go from there. I know I'll be talking with my brothers tonight. That'll be fun. We'll be playing Pokemon together as a way to relax, and who knows what comes after that. I can't believe the semester's already over. Wow. If you're watching this and you're in my classes, please stay in touch with me. And if for whatever reason I decide to make this public, then and I don't have you at all as a student, then reach out to one of your professors, like your favorite one, just say, hey, thinking about this class, thinking about you or something. And I promise you that's going to make their whole day. It always, like, I think a teacher who loves what they do or even likes what they do, they will always appreciate you reaching out. And who knows, it could be the start of something amazing. Like, wow, you look at this opportunity I get. Because I reached out. Something like that. Well, I'm going to sit with my melancholia, and I need to get a proper lunch because I had like a chocolate-filled donut, and after having a waffle, I had some sort of weird hardened fig paste, and it doesn't feel too good. I would like some actual food now. The whole world just went blank. I want food. Maybe that's it. Okay, well, catch you later. Okay, so update. I am officially done with the work day. I think it's probably over here about like 6:36 p.m., something like that. I forgot to check. But I am done. And I did not get nearly as much work done as I was hoping to. I think when I got back, I grabbed some lunch, a lunch of champions. I've been taking a honey peanut butter lately, and that's changed the game. It's made me like peanut butter again. But when I was done with that, I started reading to get like about an hour's worth of reading done. And then I fell asleep for 3 hours. So that completely threw a kibosh on the whole day's. Oh, there's something on the screen. That completely put a kibosh on the whole day's plans for work. So what ended up happening instead is that when I woke up, I ended up finishing up that reading, but putting in a little bit of extra time. I think like 20 extra minutes of reading than I normally would have. And at this point, I got to start exercising, got to eat dinner. I'm out of time for the rest of the day. I almost never work past 8 p.m. on any day. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy to do that, to just work all day. And I really think having the night as a time to just be doing my own thing outside of work it's really important. It's like a sacred time for me. So I rarely work past 8 p.m., which is why I almost never check email past 8 p.m. and certainly don't respond to emails past 8 p.m. because there just needs to be a little bit of time away. Check emails as soon as I wake up. I had no need to be checking them after about 14 hours there. So it was just the reading there. It was The Grapes of Wrath, which is a book I have not read since high school. And I did not enjoy it in high school, but that was also under the threat of reading quizzes and all of that. And it's like, well, I need to be giving this another shot because this is a book I could be teaching one day, and I would love to actually know what I'm talking about. Can't. And I also want to be able to like enjoy the things that I talk about as well. So I'm really doing my best to try and grapple with what the text is trying to tell audiences. And I need more time. I'm not that far into it right now. I'm only a couple hours into reading it, I think, and I've only gotten so far. I did want to say that last day of class, one of my students got me this little Buc-ee's cup. Now, normally when I think of Buc-ee's, I think of Starbucks, but this is really sweet. I think I need to wash this. She's a little dusty here, but I'm really looking forward to getting some use out of it. This will go really well with my Absolute Legend cup, which I have over on a little, I don't know what that is, a thing of drawers. And then I also have another cup that was like, I think it was meant for plants or something, but I started using it as a drinking cup. I don't know where that one is. Oh, wait, it's up in the closet right now. So this is the latest one in a line of student gifted cups, and I can't wait to get some use out of that. Now, at this point, I am going to go to the bookstore, and then I'm going to exercise. And then when I'm exercising, I will call up my brothers, and we'll just be talking, I think, through the night there. I'm going to the bookstore first because nobody needs to be stuck with me in in the bookstore there. And I have in mind the specific book. I think it's called The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. I have been in a fantasy mood since, I would say, early October, and the books I've been reading for myself since then, so essentially for like the past 2 months, have all been fantasies. Now, typically, I don't really like fantasy all that much. Not because I have anything against the genre, but only because really, I think fantasy texts often lose sight of what makes a story compelling, and believable in the first place, and that's like the emotions and the characters, and they focus too much on magic systems and how things work with magic. And I know it's fantasy, but I still think you need to remember why stories just work for us in the first place. But I say that, and my favorite books of all time are also fantasies. Like everyone, those are like the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. They inspired me to do what I do now and do what I do for fun as well. And so I'm going to get this fantasy murder mystery, and maybe I'll check in at the bookstore itself. But I think it might be a little bit weird if I started putting up a camera there. I'll definitely look like I'm a threat to the peace there, and I don't want to do that. But maybe we'll check in the car or something, and then, I don't know, the next time I'll be doing this. So, see you then. Okay, so another update. I am now at the parking lot of the bookstore, and it took a little bit to find parking. I think it's always tough to find parking around this particular bookstore because it's right next to a gym. And at first I was like, oh, it's Wednesday night. I'm so glad so many people are inside the bookstore. And then I remember that we're probably on leg day and we're doing other exercises. And I was like, oh yeah, that's probably why it's filled up here. But I can see it. Yeah, I could see the bookstore just in the distance there. And I'm really excited to walk over. I got to park in a new part of the parking plaza or whatever you call it, and that's always really exciting. It means I get to see new parts of a place that I don't really go to all that often, and I get to walk down and be out among the cold. And they also have Christmas lights out here, which is super exciting. I also remembered on the way over that Spotify Wrapped came out today, and I would not have remembered that because it probably wasn't going to be on Spotify, except some of my students in one of my classes were like, hey, what's your Spotify Wrapped look like? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I guess we can find out. And so I turned it on in the middle of class there while we were all just kind of hanging out for the last little portion. And it said that my most listened to genre was alternative metal. I was like, okay, well, that probably just means Rage Against the Machine. That's what that means, because I was listening to a lot of that this year. And then it also said, and this was really scary, it said, here's your musical age. And I was like, hold up a minute. This is a little scary, because earlier in the class, my students were making fun of me for being old. I was like, you guys do know I'm not that much older than you, right? Like, I'm only 26. Like, that's crazy. But I do admit I probably have a bit of an old soul, I guess. Hopefully that's, I don't think that's a bad thing. And they were making fun of me in class for that. And when I was saying 26 isn't that old, they were like, oh yeah, it kind of is. Like, you guys do know that in a couple years you're gonna be my age too, and then you're really gonna regret saying that. Well, Spotify said my musical age was 43, so I turned it off. And I will be checking back in to see what the rest of that is. I am curious to know what my songs are. But there's nothing wrong with being old. Let me put that out there now. Being old is way better than being young in so many ways. And I'm still young. I'm still part of the future. But the older you get, the more you learn. And the more you learn, you might make different types of mistakes. But you're not making the same mistakes that you were when you were younger. And it's... the older you are, the more you've gotten the chance to grow, and many chances to grow. So I enjoy being in my mid-20s way more than I enjoyed being in my late teens. That's for sure. Okay, I'll check back in when I know what my Spotify Wrapped is like. Okay, so I just went through the Spotify Wrapped there. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would. That might have been the longest Spotify Wrapped they've ever given me there. My top listened to song was the Despicable Me 4 rendition of Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which I think makes a lot of sense. And my top artist was also Despicable Me. The other top artists were Rage Against the Machine, Lenny Kravitz, and whatever the other ones were. Lenny Kravitz did give me a personalized message that he probably sent to also millions of other people. But hey, he's my favorite all-time musical artist, and that makes me happy. And for a guy who's in his 60s, he looks immaculate. He's still rocking the skinny jeans and the leather jackets. If only. I love his music so much. One day, I would love to meet him and go to one of his concerts. That would be the dream. But he's probably not coming to where I am. So, and if he does, then we might have to move heaven and earth and pay any amount of money just to go see him. Just once, I would love to see him. I've been listening to him for 20 years now, since the early mid-2000s, since his greatest hits album, which is the single greatest album I've ever listened to. It also said I only listened to one album this year on Spotify Wrapped, which also makes sense. I'm not much of an album person. And that was Fly By Midnight's new album. And I really enjoy their music. I think they have a really great style. Okay, well, I'm about to go into the bookstore here. I can't believe I'm sitting in a parking lot doing this. I feel... Ugh. Is this what it feels like to be an internet micro celebrity? Catch you later. Okay, so I do believe this is going to be the last one of these that I make for the day today. I just got back from the bookstore, and I got this enormous honker here. Come on, get out. Oh. This one. It's the entire illustrated collection of Wizards of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin, which is really exciting. I saw this the last time I came into this particular store, probably like a month ago maybe, or at least some odd weeks ago, and I was like, not yet. But then I came back in. I was initially planning on getting that one book, and then I didn't see it initially. I was like, well, I'll just take a look around. Then I saw the illustrated collection there, and I was like, I'm not even kidding. I stood there for 5 minutes. I looked like I just escaped from well, that's not quite accurate. Well, I was standing stock still, like I just got frozen in carbonite for about 5 minutes there, no exaggeration, debating whether or not I should walk out with this because the price tag was $60. With the membership, $54 without tax. And then I walked out with it. But it's also essentially like $60 for 7 or so books, and that's a really good deal. So, I mean, I couldn't pass up a sale, man. So now I have a giant illustrated collection of books. Those are, that's the fantasy series I think I enjoyed reading the most over the past 2 months was that one. I feel like I read another one that I really enjoyed, but I don't remember. I also... I saw Pokemon cards there, and I just had to. I just had to. I couldn't help myself. So now I have 2 packs of those as well. I'm not gonna check in with whatever happens with these ones because I'm just doing it for fun. But I know for a fact there's just no way that I do this again for the day because I'm about ready to talk with my brothers, and that takes full priority. Not gonna be doing this after now. So. If for whatever reason you actually made it this far, now you know a little bit of what it's like to live a day as a professor. A graduate student professor, I should be clear. And so it might be more accurate to say graduate student teacher. Anyway, I hope that was somewhat illuminating, and this is probably really long. It's probably going to be like half an hour, so I know I probably wouldn't be watching that. And so I don't blame anybody for just skipping around and not watching it at all. I mean, that's such hubris to think that anybody would be tuning into this period. Anywho, I hope whenever you're watching this, you have a most wonderful rest of the day, a most wonderful night. Please make sure that you're doing something for yourself today, tomorrow, just something, because it's not all about work, all right? And you deserve so much better than just working all the time. Even if it's just a little ice cream here and there, if it's going out with Pookie, watching that new episode of that show, do something for you and live your life. Because life is about more than just this work thing. It's about living and loving too. Okay, I'll catch you all later. You're all the real MVPs and you're absolute legends. Bye-bye, Groovy Cats.